use it for the future. So thanks everybody for joining the call today. We are going to talk about one-liners, or you could also call it elevator pitch. And this is one topic which is very close to my heart. Why? Because many times the deep tech entrepreneurs, and Ken, I'll just admit you, many times deep tech entrepreneurs.
Sorry, I was just...
No worries, I admitted. Yeah. So many times the deep tech entrepreneurs or technologists, right? They again are really great at building tech and product, but when it comes to delivering the right message, they might get into too much technical jargon, or they might get into the information which is probably not so relevant for the potential customers or investors, and so on and so forth, right? And it is also very important that when we are meeting potential customers or potential investors, let's say in a conference, right, where you are having some small talk with the prospects, you only have a few minutes or few seconds to impress these people, probably 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 60 seconds. At that time, it is very, very important that we are able to get their attention right in the beginning, and we are making them excited enough so that they are looking for more information. They want to have a meeting with us. They want to understand more about the product, the solution, the problem statement we are solving, and so on and so forth. Ken, I'll just mute you because there's a little bit echo from your side. Sorry about that. So it is very important that we are able to grab the attention of a prospect in the first 30, 40, 50 seconds when we are talking to them in a conference or in some kind of Zoom call and so on and so forth, right? So let's do some exercise, and let's take Kirill from Taurus Advisor. So Kirill, if I ask you what do you do, right? Or what your startup does, then how would you go ahead and answer that question? Let's say we are meeting in a conference and 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we develop a SaaS product for banks, which help them to better understand their cost spent on payment system fees and interchange, and help banks to optimize them up to 20%.
That's a fantastic introduction. That's a fantastic elevator pitch. Now, let's say I'm a head of retail banking, which is also a potential customer of yours, right? How would you start? Would you start it differently?
Yeah, it might be a little bit different. So then we might say that. So I might start either with a question that does. Do you agree that like costs you spend on Visa and MasterCard are not that efficient, and we have a product which can help you to unleash this inefficiency, so something like that probably.
Fantastic. No, that's a great start. So what happens is that when we are talking to a person who understands the problem statement that we are trying to solve, we can start with a question. Hey, do you really know that banks are paying almost $5 to $10 billion more, or overpaying $5 to $10 billion more on all different kind of payments? And if they say yes, I completely understand that, and I'm actually going through that pain right now. We are trying to resolve that problem statement by putting people on understanding how to resolve this problem statement, and so on and so forth. Then you have a person who is completely who is completely relating to the problem statement that you are solving, who understands the pain point that you are solving, and who is now connected with you. And now this person is going to give you 100% attention. And then you can say, hey, by the way, that's fantastic that you understand this problem statement. You can relate to this problem statement. We as Taurus Advisor are using AI ML to understand your cost, understand where you are paying more, and help you optimizing that cost by 20%. By the way, we have also sold this product to 3 major banks in Russia and Europe, and we have made a revenue of approximately 100K USD. So we not only engaged the person by asking the question, got that person's complete attention, but on top of that, we have talked about our solution in very simple terms, And in a quantifiable manner, we are optimizing your cost by 20%, right? And then we are also talking about the traction. We are talking about the validation that, hey, we are not some, some nerds doing some stupid things without having the traction, without having the customer validation. We have the customer validation. We have done this with 3 major banks in Europe and Russia, and we are getting the revenue from them. Now you have a very engaged customer who got intrigued, who got curious about what you're building, and now they want to learn more. They want to probably schedule a 30 minutes discussion with you, 1 hour discussion with you, and they want to make sure that they understand the complete solution, and they are bringing the right stakeholder from their own organization to understand this, right? Ken, let's talk about Stingray. Thanks a lot, Kirill. So what are you doing at Stingray, Ken? Please unmute yourself. You're still muted, Ken.
So we had sorry, is that better?
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead,
so
please.
We had the 2 platforms, as you know. One was the diabetes tool for the general practitioners, and the other was optimizing the stem cell therapy results. So originally the stem cell had all the attraction and was the appeal of the just let me talk. Okay. So this is Oakley grandson. So but all right, hang on, this is a little bit serious. So now, given that as I said, the Royal Australian College is going to promote the diabetes tool, that seems to be the most exciting. So as a one-liner, we could say, we have using machine learning, we have a diabetes diagnostic tool, which is being promoted by the 40,000 general practitioners in Australia. As a second platform, we have a software that will optimize and personalize the stem cell procedures used to treat diabetes. Okay, just come down. So which one, how do you pitch a one-liner when you've got 2 quite distinct products?
Right, that's a very interesting point. So first of all, again, I think the one-liner that you mentioned in the end, it is fantastic. That we are using machine learning to do the early diagnosis and prediction of the diabetes, right? And then this product is recommended or endorsed by 40,000 general practitioners, which is again giving the validation. It is talking about the traction. And then we have a recommendation engine to optimize and personalize the stem cell therapy for providing an efficient cure, right? So that's fantastic. Now, talking about multiple products, multiple features. So we as a startup, we may have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different features in a product. And when we are talking to somebody for 30 seconds, we have to grab their attention in first 30, 40 seconds. We cannot talk about all 6, 7, 8 different features. We have to nail down to one feature, which is the most impactful, which gives the most value, and which is probably the most relevant to this particular person who is hearing our pitch, right? So if, we believe that the early diagnosis, the prediction tool is the one which is the most mature. We have a lot of data around it. We can prove that we have shown more than 90% accuracy in making the prediction. Then that's the feature or product on which we should be focusing more, because stem cell therapy, it still has a question mark. But the early diagnosis and prediction of the diabetes, it doesn't have a question mark. We have done more than 2,000 trials. We have been able to prove more than 90% efficiency, and there are 40,000 GPs who are endorsing this product, right? So that way we will have to nail down our messaging, we'll have to nail down the product feature that we really want to communicate, right? And that we really want this person, this prospect, to remember about us. Okay. So these are two great examples. So starting with the question, hey, have you faced this problem in your life as a professional or as a human being? Okay, this is how we are solving your problem statement. This is the validation, and these are the quantitative improvements that we can make. If we can also talk about secret sauce while delivering that message, then that is even fantastic. So for example, we have patent for that for that recommendation engine, right? And when we talk about the patent, our customers, our investors, they love that. They love the fact that we have IP around the technology that we have built.
So really, does it come down to the audience that we're actually talking to? So if we're talking to a group of general practitioners, if we talk about Singapore general practitioners, we talk about the diagnostic tool and mention the stem cell. If we're talking to endocrinologists, we talk about the stem cell therapy and we just drop that little, well, but the diagnostic tool we also have is promoted. The other confusion that we sometimes get into, and I'm sorry for taking up so much time.
Sure.
Is people will say, well, do they work together? Do they work together? Can you work them independently? And they get confused about diagnostic stem cell platforms. So just be careful, Gun. Be careful. I've got his grandson who's trying to lift 20 kilos of weights. So I'm just not sure what he's going to wipe out at the time being. So if I need to jump, you'll understand. Sorry. So, and Pankaj, we could take this offline if you like. I don't want to bore the other participants, but I think the one thing you're right about the one-liner, it has to be no more than about 15 words.
Right. It has to be pretty precise. It has to be very concise. And we need to make sure that each and every word in a one-liner is there for a reason.
Yeah.
Right. Either this word is delivering the validation, or this word is communicating the quantitative impact, or this word is talking about the secret sauce, or about the problem statement, or the targeted audience, or the solution, and so on and so forth, right? And that's why this has to be pretty concise. Now, this is really good for for having one-on-one communication when you are meeting somebody face to face, or probably having a communication over Zoom call or Microsoft Teams and so on and so forth. Now, there's another way of talking about the product that we are building. I really love Uber's example, where there's an input, there's an output, and there's a wow factor. Okay. So what is that example? You push a button and there'll be a Mercedes-Benz standing outside your door to take you wherever you want. Input, push the button. Output, there'll be a Mercedes-Benz standing outside your door to take you wherever you want. And this kind of, so you have the wow factor, and obviously back in 2009, 2010, 2008, when they were building the product, they were growing the startup and so on and so forth. Having that kind of company, having that kind of solution was creating a wow factor. And then you have also created a desirability by inserting Mercedes-Benz, that when you push the button, the Mercedes-Benz will be standing outside your door, right? That's the kind of input, output, and wow factor works really well when we are in a B2C market. For example, Jason from Varabanto, if you have to deliver your company's message in that fashion, input, output, wow factor, how would you do that?
Okay. Varabanto is a hot train rental machine platform where business office workers can just pick our machines and then enjoy hot meal boxes just within 17 seconds.
Fantastic. The other way, that's a really great example, Jason. So now if I'm presenting this to the businesses, let's say I'm going to CHRO of a company, right? And I'm trying to convince that CHRO of that company to install a machine in their office premise, right? I could say that, hey, your employee can walk to the water bento machine within your office premise, push a button, and get a fresh, hot, hygienic meal within 17 seconds. That's and there again, input, output, and wow factor. That and where's the wow factor? That the food is fresh, it is hot, and it is hygienic, and you are getting it within 17 seconds, right? So those are the kind of other examples that that are out there. Again, I'm going to take one more example. Let's take an example of Slack. When Slack was in their earlier days and they were going to different kind of businesses, they were going to the VP of product management or VP of innovation, head of innovation kind of people, and they were trying to sell their product. Their question was, how many emails and how many useless emails and useless meetings do you have to attend on weekly basis? The answer was that, hey, I receive hundreds of useless emails. I go to dozens of useless meetings every week, and they don't add any value to my work, to my efficiency. Slack's response was, we understand your problem statement. We have created a platform where all the communications can happen on one platform through different kind of channels to make your life more efficient, so that you don't have to go to the useless meetings or you don't have to see the useless emails. Pretty straightforward, right? So you are understanding the problem statement of the person by asking a question, and then once you have engaged the person, because that person relates a lot to the problem statement, after that you are delivering the solution that you have built, right? So this is another example. So these are the examples, again, when we are talking to a potential customer, a prospect, an investor, while having a face-to-face conversation. What about writing emails, right? Again, writing emails is, or especially the cold emails, is an art. You could lose the person, you can win the person by having a very attractive subject line, as well as very attractive first line, first two sentences in the email. Okay, now let's talk to let me put it on Shai. Shai, are you there? Are you ready to participate?
Hi.
Fantastic. So when you write an email to, let's say, your prospect customer, and it is a completely cold email, how do you start your first two sentences? What do you write?
So first of all, I try to do it very personal. So I would research about this person and about the company. And if I read, interesting article about them, or, I visited the website and I read a blog post, or this person shared or liked something. So I would say, hi, my name is Shai from Intentify. I saw that you comment this post. It's very interesting topic, and we can help you, take it to your organization and develop it. So something very personal, including, the quantifiable value that we provide.
Makes complete sense. Now, I love the fact that you are researching about the person, right? You are trying to understand what these people are talking about, or they are passionate about, and then, or probably if there is any news about their company, if there's any any information about that company, then you use that information, that data, to start the conversation, which is a fantastic way to do that. Because even when you are selling to the enterprises, you are not selling to IBM, you are not selling to the SAP, you are not selling to the Oracle, or to HSBC, you are selling to a person in that organization. Sorry, that was a call. You are selling to a person in an organization, right? And that person could be the decision maker, that person could be the stakeholder. And that's why we need to connect that with that person. We need to make sure that we are able to make our email, make our communication very customized, and we are able to sort of connect with that person on personal level. So that's why talking about their passion, talking about their recent post, talking about their recent LinkedIn activities or Twitter activities is always fantastic. Now, talking about the introductory line, how you introduce your business to them, right? Now, for example, in case of Intentify, what is the product and how this product is solving your problem statement, right? Your problem statement. If you are a bank, then I'm not going to talk about SAP's problem statement. I'm going to talk about your problem statement, right?
Right.
Using what kind of tool, achieving what kind of quantitative improvement, and so on and so forth, right? So, for example, in your case, helping B2B companies. So you're targeting B2B companies, enterprises, right? So that's your target audience, helping B2B companies, targeting their ideal active buyers. So that's the problem statement, or that's the solution that you are providing. We are helping you targeting your active buyers. How? By running marketing campaigns. Okay, this is how we are doing it, using talent, using intent data knowledge, right? That's the secret sauce that you have, while increasing conversion by 50% and reducing CAC by 80%. That's the quantifiable improvement that you are making to your business's overall ecosystem, right? So again, you are talking about who is your targeted audience, what the problem statement that you are solving, what is the solution that you are solving, using what kind of secret sauce, and what is the quantifiable improvement. Now, by providing that introductory line, which is very precise, which is very sort of targeted, focused, you are able to get the attention of the person, right? And you are able to deliver the messaging in those first 1 or 2 lines. And now you are able to intrigue the person, make the person more curious, and now the person will be interested in going through the other details of the email. If you are not able to gain the traction or gain the sort of attention from the person in those 1 or 2 sentences, then probably person will not even go down to the email and look at other bullet points that you are trying to send. Okay. Another example, let me just look at the sheet one more time. Okay, why don't we take an example of mixed care? Alex?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Fantastic. So how would you send that one-liner to probably a business that you are trying to target, or introductory message?
All right. So we are a health tech SaaS solutions. We provide affordable and accessible healthcare solution to SME employees, and you're able to save medical costs up to 70%.
Okay, that is fantastic. So now you have been able to define your targeted audience, which is SME and SME employees. You have been able to quantify the improvement, 70% cost reduction in the healthcare services. However, you have not been able to talk about the healthcare services. What kind of healthcare services you are offering? Is it the diagnostic services? Is it the primary care? Is it the operations, outpatient? What are those healthcare services that you are offering, right? So probably you need. Go ahead, please.
So you're able to access to 1,000 outpatient services, including GP, SP, physiotherapy, Chinese doctors.
Okay, now this is slightly better because you are also talking about the partners, 1,000 healthcare service providers that are your partners. And that also gives sort of relief to your audience that, hey, these people have 1,000 partners, not just 10 or 20. And if my employees of my organization are going on their platform, they'll be able to find enough number of healthcare service providers. So let's do it again. Let's say it again.
So we are a health tech SaaS solution, and we provide innovative, affordable, and accessible healthcare solutions to SME employees. And the patients able to save medical costs up to 70%, and they are able to access to 1,000 healthcare service providers, including GP, SP, Chinese doctor, physiotherapy, and mental care.
Okay, so that's slightly bigger than 2 sentences. Probably that's 3-4 sentences.
Right.
Another way to say this is through our 1,000 plus healthcare service providers, we are able to provide healthcare services such as primary care, telehealth to SME employees at 70% discounted price.
Okay, got you.
Okay, now you have been able to talk about your healthcare partners. You have been able to talk about the quantifiable improvement. You have been able to talk about who is the targeted audience, right?
Yep.
Makes sense?
Makes sense.
Okay.
So, yeah, I can just skip the first part. Yeah. And then
right.
Put together. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Alex. Yaniv, is it okay if I trouble you a little bit?
It's totally okay. And I enjoy I enjoy the fact that you know so much about each one of the startups, and you find the right wording to pitch them. I mean, that's impressive. Okay.
I'm trying to learn.
Nice. Okay. So I will try my pitch,
Please.
my elevator pitch, quite fast. So developing and implementing AI computer vision based solution is complex and expensive mission. 80% of the efforts, time, and resources are directed to data preparation. So projects and AI-powered image recognition SaaS platform streamline the data training and the workflow by enabling acceleration of the development by 50%.
Okay, that's quite complex.
I know, deep tech. I'm sorry.
Deep tech.
Sorry, guys. I know AI, machine learning, neural networks, computer vision. Yeah. I tell you what I would probably do now after I heard your comments, the other guys, and I'm very happy to join this conversation. So I think that we might take it to think about it as an app store. Okay, you just you choose your industry, you choose your category, and you get the ready to go computer vision, let's say, building blocks to develop your AI application. And that's it.
Actually, in your case, input output wow factor. Let's try that one. So you are inputting your industry type.
Yes.
Right.
Let's say automotive.
For automotive, right? So
yes,
for automotive insurance companies. Sorry, go ahead, please.
No. It's you choose your industry or your domain, then you choose your class, let's say automotive, and then you choose vehicles, and then you can choose I don't know what vehicle type, vehicle color, vehicle make, and the magic is done in the cloud-based platform, and we provide you the ready-to-go data sets for you to develop your application. So all the identification, recognition, and classification is done by our machine learning and AI software.
Okay, so let's say when you go to the insurance CFOs, right? You are going in a conference which is meant for insurance CFOs, right? And you are the only technical person there.
Yeah.
And CFOs don't know anything about the AI, ML, cloud, and things of that nature. Yeah. How would you do a 30 seconds or 60 seconds pitch to them?
Okay, so your daily cost to recognize damages and the frauds that you probably get from the damage inspection area is billions of dollars. What we can give you is a quick solution to determine a very fast, accurate, and efficient way to do the whole workflow of the damage inspection in one platform.
This is way better. Okay, this is way better. I love that. Why? Because when we are, again, I mean, you are mostly reaching out to the VP of R&D or the product owners and data scientists and people of that nature who really understand what is computer vision, what is the AI ML, what is the what is the cloud and things of that nature. But it is always better to make sure that we are also able to deliver the message in a very simple manner, so that we are able to have the clarity about the business, right? Who is the targeted audience, how we are solving their problem statement, using what, right?
Pankaj, can I ask a question of the
Please.
group, basically? Some years ago, we were talking about analytics as predictive analytics, and then that was software. And then we tended to use the term, because it became more fashionable, to machine learning and then AI. And yet when I use those terms with people, you see their eyes just tend to gloss over, because everybody's talking about machine learning. Everybody talks about AI. What have I done? So, is there some better way? Do the other participants, do they find the same? Do they find the same issues, or is there a better term to use?
I love that question. I love that question, because what happens is when we reach out to the potential customers or head of innovations or to the VCs, right? Most of the times, companies.
Sorry, Pankaj, can I interrupt? Could you just hold this? I just want to say goodbye to my daughter. So can we hold?
Sure. No worries. So Yaniv, let's try to do it in a different manner.
Please.
Projects is trying to help auto insurance companies saving 50% of the time and cost, detecting and verifying the damages by using computer vision and ML powered tagging technology or ML powered recognition technology. I'm probably really bad right now with this.
It's okay. It's okay. Believe me, I'm challenging with that.
But we can get closer, right? So again, we are talking about the auto insurance companies because that's our lowest hanging fruit.
Yes.
We cannot talk about all kind of images, all kind of computer vision, all kind of recognition and things of that nature. And if we do that, if we say that, hey, we are trying to solve everybody's problem in the world, then we are not essentially solving anybody's problem statement. So we have to bring the focus. And for you, the focus is auto insurance because these people love you. They love what you're doing. So we need to talk about the targeted audience that, hey, we are helping auto insurance companies saving 50% of the time and cost in detecting and verifying the damages by using computer vision powered or computer vision and ML powered recognition technology. Are we slightly closer, do you think?
Well, that's we are close, but I think that we will need to find some easier way to people to understand. I mean, people like people need references. I mean, what I was thinking about in some of my and I have like 20 different deck, and I just tell you guys, listen, I don't know how many type of version of deck you have, but if you don't have dozens of them, it will be hard to raise money. So don't worry about it. If you have 20 version, it's okay. So one of my version was to compare the auto ML in the text in the voice, let's say, to auto ML in the visual. So we are like the auto ML imagery platform, okay? While we are accelerating and solving problems for the auto insurance industries, by recognizing, identifying, and classifying the objects, the damages, and everything related to that. So auto ML is something that might some of the investor understand because there is a big hype on this area in the AI industry. The other way I told you is to tell them like we want to be the app store computer vision for the auto insurance. So they don't need to develop the whole AI applications. We will give them the most important part, which is the identification, classification, and recognition. So they can take any business intelligence or business decisions once they are using our platform.
Right. No, I completely agree with you that we need to have all these different versions for different kind of people, because every time we have to customize the messaging based on the kind of audience we are reaching out to, right? So it is very, very important. We can't have same kind of pitch, even in your case, for auto insurance companies or for the retail companies. We cannot have that, right? Okay. So we are still waiting for Ken, but why don't we do this? Praveen?
Yeah, hi, Pankaj.
Hi. So would you like to do the one-liner for your company?
Sure. DigiBeings are a new AI race that help businesses scale online communications with their customers without losing the human touch, using non-verbal languages like gestures, facial expressions, and body language. And after just like recently, I mean, in this call, I tried to improvise this one-liner. So I just wanted to add like few metrics that matter for our prospect clients, like net promoter score or CPC, those kind of customer satisfaction metrics which matter for our customers.
Okay.
I'm thinking to add to this one liner.
Right. What is CPC?
Sorry, I mean CSAT.
Okay, customer satisfaction. Okay.
Because initially we are focusing on customer support application only. So this kind of metrics will matter, and also a few clients with whom I'm already spoke to, they also focused on this metrics.
So now tell me something. What kind of customers really care about this problem statement and this solution? Do healthcare companies or retail or banking, who care the most about this problem statement?
Mostly banking okay, because everything is going. And
Ken, could you please mute? Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
And customer satisfaction always has been an important aspect for banking. And now if you see for traditional banks also, there is a lot of competition from new age banks which are completely digital. And so they want to balance like without losing that human touch, like because now nobody are walking into the bank and having that personal relationship. So how do they balance that particular aspect by using virtual humans?
Fantastic. So your targeted customer base is in the banking sector. You are targeting the banks, right? Okay. So how about creating digital humans to increase the created digital humans for the banking sector to increase the customer satisfaction by X percentage and offer the scalability for all kind of online communication. So you are essentially providing a better tool for the online communications. It's not a chat. It's not, AI bot, which is, which is chatting with the customers or probably responding or not responding. This is a digital human, which is not only responding to customers' questions, but also offering all kind of body languages or all kind of gestures, right? So you want to talk about, again, who is your targeted customer, banking, what is the quantifiable improvement, customer satisfaction improved by X percentage, using digital humans that are not only responding, but also offering the gesture, right? Yes. So again, I think we need to work on that also to make sure that we are able to create a crisp messaging, for all the email communication and all the all the communications that we are having with the potential customers and with the investors.
Yes.
Now, Ken, I'll come back to you on. Many people are talking about AI ML. Many people are talking about the computer vision or this or that to gain the attention. And when you go to the VCs or potential customers or VP of innovation kind of people, they always ask this question: hey, is this real or bluff, right? Do you have the real AI ML, or you're just trying to, you're just using the jargon, right? And in that case, if AI ML is the core enabler, they won't have too many questions, right? But it is a side thing and it is not really a core enabler, then they will have a lot of questions, right? So you will have to think about, what is my core enabler? Is it AI ML, or is it blockchain, or is it IoT, or is it computer vision? What is the core enabler behind my product? And this product, the quantitative improvements of this product will not be there without this core enabler. If you have that core enabler, and because of your core enabler, the quantitative improvement is coming, then your VC will not have too many questions. Your customer will not have too many questions on authenticity of the technology. The other thing that you could do is you could talk about the patent. So if you look at the sheet that I'll just share my screen here for a second. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Give me a second, please. Okay, for Stingray, initially we had AI-powered recommendation engine, right? Where we are saying that, hey, we are using AI to create the recommendation engine so that doctors can diagnose and treat the diabetes. But now we are saying patented, which means that we have patent on the AI technology or recommendation engine that we have created. Similarly, for Vada Bento, there are, and please correct me, Jason, if I'm wrong, there are 5 patents that you have on Vada Bento hot chain machines. We are saying patented hot chain bento machines, right? And when we talk about the patent, then our potential customers, then our potential investors know that there is a patent behind this product. There is a real technology behind it, and there is a technological sustainability or barriers to entry. And any other Joe Schmo cannot create this kind of technology, create this kind of product without having this kind of technological excellence, right? And this is also very important when we are sending those one-liners or introductory messages to our VCs, to make sure that they understand that we also have the tech competitive advantage. We also have the tech sustainability, other than obviously showing that, hey, this is a targeted customer, this is the quantitative improvement, and this is the sort of secret sauce, right? Does that make sense? Does it answer your question, Ken?
Yes, it does. I think the use of the words core enabler is quite quite succinct. So because again, I've listened to lots of pitches and we're just going to use AI. It's almost as if they're saying we're just going to use a computer. No, that's good. Thank you, Pankaj.
Thanks a lot, Vinayak. I'll come to you for the one-liner or for the elevator pitch. How would you go about it?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
So we are an HR tech company. We help companies source vetted candidates that are vouched by other top engineers. So we are basically targeted at tech companies or product companies who wants to hire highly quality candidates.
Okay. So now you are trying to talk about your targeted audience, but I don't know what kind of tech you are using. Is it a general tech or deep tech? If I'm a VC, right, I don't know what is your technical sustainability, or what is the tech competitive advantage that you have, right?
Okay.
And I also don't know if I am the, let's say I'm your targeted audience, a product company. What is the quantitative improvement for me, right? I don't know about these things. And if I'm the VC and you are sending this message to me, probably I won't be able to understand what is the exact improvement that this company or the startup is making on its customers' ecosystem.
Okay.
Now, okay, so I'll give you another example. There could be a situation where you can't talk much about the quantitative improvement because you are still early, you don't have the customer, or you even have the customer, but these customers are not giving the data, right? That's not the ideal situation, but in that particular situation, you have to do a high level estimation on the quantitative improvement. You might be wrong, you might be 10, 20, 30% off, but you will have to start somewhere. Even if you are 30% off on your quantitative improvement numbers or estimations, you will have to start somewhere. You will have to present it to the potential customers and VCs. And then once you get into the discussion with the potential customer, they will either agree with your quantitative improvement that you are estimating, or they will argue on that. And in either situation, it is better because you will get better understanding of the improvement that you can make to your potential customer.
Okay, so as a company, that what we're doing is like we help companies get better quality candidates. So it's a personal kind of metric, right? How can we like quantify it and tell in numbers for that kind of thing?
Right. So you are trying to so you are saying that the improvement that you are making is more quantitative, not more qualitative, not quantitative.
Yes.
Okay. There could be a way to do that. For example, when candidates referenced by you, they are in the job for, let's say, next 6 months, next 1 year, right? And you are able to get the data from that company that, hey, this person is behaving or performing the way you predicted, or you or based on your recommendation, then that's a good signal. So you could say that 90% of the candidates, 80% of the candidates performed the way we were expecting or the way we predicted. Or the other metric that you could talk about is that we have 80% repeat rate, right? That's another metric that you could talk about if you are not able to provide any other quantitative improvement, right? The other example is that, for example, there's a company that you're working with. They used to hire 100 people a year through outside methods. Now they have started hiring 80% of those people using your platform, right? In that case, you could say that, hey, my customers are doing 80% of the hiring through my platform. That's another quantitative metric or improvement that you can talk about. Or there is cost associated with the bad hires. There's huge cost associated with the bad hire, right? And obviously, when you go to the CHROs, when you go to the chief of staff or chief people's officer, they have a number in their mind that, hey, we are spending 100K, 500K because of the bad hires. And because of, let's say, vouch, we are able to reduce that cost to 50%. And if you have, if the company really trusts you, if they really love your solution, then they will give that number back to you. They will offer that number back to you, right?
Okay.
So obviously you will not be able to have all that information in the beginning, and you will have to go with the estimations. But as you move forward, you will keep receiving that information from your customers, that you were able to retain. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, comments, questions?
One question from Jason.
Please.
Yeah, in Wadabento's case, we are doing B2B2C business. We provide technology licensing of our platform to F&B companies, but the end users are business office workers. So in this case, what is your suggestion? Do we emphasize the experience of the end user or on the benefits to the food companies?
Okay, so this is very interesting, because in B2B2C, the end user is somebody else, but the decision maker or stakeholder or the person who is paying the money is somebody else, right?
Exactly.
So in your case, for example, you are reaching out to the companies, right? Or just a second, Kirill wants to join. So for example, you are reaching out to the companies, right? There's a company which has 1,000 employees in the office location, and these people are going out, spending 1 hour, 2 hour, 1.5 hour to get the food. Obviously, the cost of the food is higher, and these people are spending so much time outside in summer, winter, whatever it is, right? Or in rain, whatever it is. When you are going to the CHROs or general managers or the CEOs who are making the decision, for them, the benefit is that these people are able to get the food at office premise, and these people are able to save not only the time, but probably they might be able to save the money as well, right? They are able to get, again, the fresh hygienic food in very small amount of time. So you are, and in that particular case, you should not only talk about the benefit that the consumers have, that they are able to get fresh hygienic food at low cost, but you should also talk about the benefit that the company has. If people are spending, let's say, 30 minutes less by not going out, that translates into something, that translates into dollar, and you will have to figure out that dollar number. And again, in the beginning, it could be a high level estimation, and when you go to the CHROs, they will either argue or they will agree on that number. And in either situation, either case, it is a good, good step, because if they are arguing, then they are giving you the real insight. How much money does it cost if a person is wasting 30 minutes of his time on daily basis? Okay,
good.
Another example, let's say you are reaching, sorry?
I like your concept of translating the time to dollars.
Yeah, and in every case, companies care about the dollars. Either you are saving the dollars or you are making the dollars for them, right? In either case, you need to quantify the benefit in the dollars, right? Otherwise, they don't understand how much money they are saving, how much money they are creating because of the solution that you are proposing. Now let's talk about the restaurant chains, right? You go and talk to a director of restaurant chains or VP of restaurant chains, and obviously, and I have seen your pitch deck where you are talking about how much cost is there for running the restaurant, what is the cost of having the people, what is the cost of not having the operation when there's pandemic, when there's the shutdowns, lockdowns, and things of that nature. So you have very interestingly quantified the benefits for the restaurant chains over there, right? Similarly, you could do the same for the co-working spaces, for the hotel chains, and so on and so forth, or even for the condominium complexes, right? Again, we have to work on quantifying the value statement, the value proposition, right? That's very, very super important. Okay, what else? Did I mean, do you guys agree with what we are talking about, or if you have different opinions, I would love to hear those. Please don't be shy. Don't hesitate. Shy? Okay, shy is going to talk.
I am not shy, so I can tell you that, yeah, it's a great session, and I really believe that, we can do lots of work around the messaging and the way to approach, potential customers and investor, because this is a true art, as you say.
Again,
I know that
completely.
from our process, we went through a couple of iterations, and of course we still can improve. So that's, it's all about the story. It's all about the story
Right.
you tell.
Again, I cannot emphasize enough that cold emailing is an art. Getting your audience attention in first few sentences is an art, and we have to do it. Being a startup founders, our targets, for example, investors, customers, they are very busy people, right? They don't have time to read 10 paragraph essays, right? They don't have time to go through multiple emails. They receive hundreds of emails every day, right? If we want to get their attention, we have to nail down the art of writing the right subject line and write first paragraph that makes them interested and that wants them to learn more about what we are doing, what we have achieved, or what we want to achieve in the future. And that could only happen when we talk about who is our targeted customer, what is the quantitative improvement, what is the technological competitive advantage that we have, and then if you could talk about the validation, the traction, then that is even fantastic. Okay. I think that's it from my side. I will be. Please go ahead. Sorry.
I just have a question. Like, is it good to embed a video in the elevator pitch, like when you're writing emails to the potential clients?
See, it's okay, but again, when we are sending these messages to VPs and CXOs in an organization, when we are sending these messages to the VCs or general partners, managing partners of the VC firms, again, they are really busy people, right? They will look at the video only if they like what we have written in the introductory message, right? And also probably asking them to watch a video is a heavy ask, a heavy request. When we send these kind of initial emails or cold emails, we'll have to start with a very light ask, a very light request, so that they don't feel too burdened in fulfilling a request, right? And when they don't feel burdened fulfilling a request, they will be more comfortable in doing what we are requesting them to do. And then probably, if they are interested, if they feel excited, then they will come back and they would like to learn more about what we are building, the traction, the milestones, and so on and so forth. Okay. Anything else about your experiences, your own, other learnings that you have had while obviously growing the business? Please, Ken, go ahead.
Pankaj, having spent a lot of time dealing with venture capitalists, the first thing you have to overcome is that your email doesn't go into their junk. So, because that's where, when they say that they'll give you an address to write to, invariably that's exactly where it goes to. And that's why they're always just looking for a warm invitation, somebody
Right.
that they know. Secondly, I have used long emails, I've used short emails, and to some extent, I don't think it makes any difference at all. It's perhaps the heading is all they're going to look at. So if it's something that they're interested in, then they will, they might read what's there. But certainly, from experience, you don't send anything more. And as you taught us, Pankaj, you don't send them anything more than maybe a 10 slider. maybe, or maybe a 10 or 15 line bullet point that's got something that might grab their attention.
No, I completely agree with you on that. And about the junk, if we are not spamming people, most probably, we'll be able to save ourselves from going into junk, right? So yeah, I think we need to be very careful to how many people we are sending the messages, and are we sending messages to the wrong email IDs, and are our emails bouncing and things of that nature, because obviously there are credibilities of different kind of email IDs or scores of different email IDs, and we need to make sure that the score for our email ID is high, is intact, and we achieve that by sending the right emails and not spamming a lot or things of that nature. So we always need to be very, very careful about that.
I've also noticed that using the .ai format, it sends most of them straight to junk. So it might be great for marketing. But the one thing that I have learned though is if you send somebody an email from an AI address, you also need to send one from Gmail, or you send them a message on LinkedIn. That you've got to get to them somehow, and I've
Oh,
sent
yeah.
them, so and that still doesn't mean they'll respond.
That's very true. That's very true. You have to send a reminder somewhere that, hey, I sent you the message. Please check your spam as well.
I want to jump in here. It's Alex here.
Yep.
About
please.
Email, cold email. Actually, I've been practicing. Sending cold email in the past 3 to 6 months. Something to share. I think first of all, you have to use the email automation tool. There are a lot in the market. You can use MailChimp. I'm currently using one called Lameness. It's pretty useful, called Lameness. And in terms like whether they would send it to a junk box, actually those tools can help you to warm it up, because they try to avoid people email goes to the junk mailbox. They have some kind of technology to try to pass through those junk box. So I think that actually helps. And my open rate actually quite high. I send out 400-500, and my open rate average to VC is 50%.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And then the reply rate is 10%. So I'm more than happy to share like some templates, and I'm trying and error many times. So I think it's quite quite useful. Yeah.
Alex, could you please put the name?
Yeah, sure. I think there are a lot in the market, but you first of all you have to crawl out the email address from the LinkedIn. I mean, it's quite a gray area whether it's legal or illegal, but they're just trying to verify the email address. But there are a lot of tools to trying to help you out to crawl the email, so that you can send it to the VC. But actually, a lot of people trying to do that. I mean, yeah.
No, actually, there are a bunch of tools to figure out the email IDs from LinkedIn, and actually we'll talk about them. I have a session on those. But what I'll do is that why don't we do this, Alex? If you want to share your learning, if you want to share some email templates or WhatsApp, then that would be fantastic. And I'll also share some, some tools that help you finding the email IDs of the targeted people.
Yeah.
And obviously that'll be helpful for everybody in the team. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks, Pankaj. Thank you, Alex.
Very welcome.
Thank you, Alex. It seems you are the master of the cold emails, which is fantastic.
And I still haven't posted anything yet, but at least I'm able to meet some people. I think trying to, especially the first email, trying to be like humble, or instead of like asking money. I mean, this is something I always try to do. I mean, I want to
lighter ask.
Yeah, like just get some feedback. I mean, the community is pretty small actually. In Hong Kong, people know each other, so if your product works and I mean they like it, they will spread around. So
right, definitely.
Yeah.
Sounds great, guys. So I really appreciate your time. What I'll do is that I'll send you a small form to offer the feedback. It'll be anonymous so that you don't have to reveal your name, and you could give a brutal, honest feedback on the session today. What we need to improve, what are the good things, what are the bad things, and things of that nature. What are the suggestions, and so on and so forth. The idea is to keep improving. Okay. So,
Pankaj, could you also resend the invites for your sessions? You know, your one-on-one sessions and the other links. You know, having changed that, gentlemen, don't ever change your email address. You know,
I'll do that. I'll send it to you.
I had an email, I switched it. Now the other one doesn't work. It's a nightmare. So just don't ever do that ever again. Thank you.
I'll do that.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks a lot, guys. Really, really appreciate your time today, Shai and Yaniv. Extra thanks to you. And I know Friday is religious and a holiday for you, so I'm really sorry.
It's up to 4 o'clock, something like that, when we are wrapping up and starting our weekend. Although again, we are entrepreneurs, so it's not always like that. That's it.
Yeah, but I'll take care going forward. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. It was a great session.
Take care, guys. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much. It was great.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers, bye.
Bye bye.